What is up, guys? Kane here. Today we are officially redesigning the Kane's Crash Course series with 3 brand new smaller series. One of them is going to be close to the original, where we test out vehicles to the absolute limit. Another one will be more done with other players, especially players that I know, where we do more of challenges, putting different cars against each other to see which car is the best. And the last one is more of a series of modifying or building custom versions of existing cars. Now, unfortunately, due to the way that the series has been played out in the past and stuff like that, the producers decided that it was a good idea to take one of my cars, which I like dearly, which I will admit the dang thing's a rust bucket, for God's sake, let's be honest about that, but apparently they didn't like it. So today, they decided it was the best idea in the world to take that car and, I guess in a way, give it a complete makeover. Which is why my rusty hunk of junk voodoo is sitting right there. So yeah, I need to blame the producers on that one. Now, since this car is such a, well, modern day rust bucket and such an eyesore to the GTA universe, and since I haven't really done much with it since I got it a few years ago off of the original owner, which obviously never really took care of the darn thing. I mean, look at this thing. Anyway, back to the point at hand. This car needs some serious restoration, which I'm willing to admit that myself. But since this paint job is extremely faded and probably won't last much longer, the producers decided it is a perfect opportunity that since the series is being completely redesigned, this is the best chance. God damn it. Well, look at this thing now. It looks beautiful. So, I just somewhat restored the voodoo with what money I had. So, I tinted out the windows. The old ones were getting really bad. I kept the same paint job, didn't even mess with that. So, paint job staying the same. Okay, well, I got the go ahead. So, I'm hoping that this car performs, well, a bit better than it has in the past. And right now we're up to 80. Come on, car, come on. Come on, you can go faster than this. I'm gonna have to make my turn soon. Oh god! Oh man, this turn is gonna be rough. I think I just jumped it. Here we go over the turn. That's gonna be difficult. Oh man, this is not gonna be easy. Oh, I knew it wasn't gonna be easy. Drifter, drift it, drift it. That one actually was kind of fun. I'll admit that. I'm surprised she was able to do that. Now on the straightaways. Back up to 80. Here we go. Just lost it under 85. Here we go for the turn. Coming up on the turn. I'm taking the turn. This is the easy turn. Oh, we're up to 90 already. Which, I guess that really isn't something I could really brag about, but man, this car is just flying. I've never had this thing up to 90 before. That honestly surprises me. Here we go for the turn, and the grass onto the road, and the grass once again, and here we go across it. After having a huge amount of success in this car, I decided that I was going to be a little bit cocky with what we were doing, and well, tried to whip a donut, but as it turned out, it wasn't that good. after a little bit of an embarrassment, I just decided that I was gonna have to go off a ramp. And, well, the ramp, yeah, that will end up being a mistake. Well, yeah, I just tried to jump this thing, and the engine has completely quit on me. So, I'm gonna go out, see if I can get this hood open, and see if I can figure out what the damage is. And for some weird ass reason, the radio is now glitching out. That never happened before. Well, let's go see what the damage is. Well, as it turned out, my idea of jumping this car was a complete fail. The engine, which had got out of a used Emperor, no longer worked. The ram pipes were bent, which means that the ram pipes no longer worked. The radiator, which had a huge crack going right down the center, meant that the radiator was now shot, which meant that if the engine actually was able to turn over again, it probably wouldn't last too much longer anyway. The headlights were busted out, which means that the car wasn't street legal anymore. The whole front end was smashed in and buckled, and we had to use a cutting tool to open up the hood, which means that the hood didn't close anymore, which also meant that we had to flatbed this thing back to the shop and put it in as storage until we got this thing fixed up for another episode of Kane's Crash Course. Well, now I have to drive this rusty hunk of junk back into the garage. And since there's no hood on it, since we couldn't keep the latch closed long enough to actually get it back here, and since there's no headlights on it anymore, making this car illegal to drive on the streets, we had to use a flatbed. But now, after I get this thing back into the garage, it'll probably be restored in a future episode of Kane's Crash Course. So until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.